What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. I mentioned in my last video that I wanted to make another video going through the pros and cons and talking about the full frame swap process on my Jeep TJ. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get into it. Two things I want to mention before we start talking about the frame swap. One, TDK did not give me any special pricing on this frame. I know I talk about it a lot, and it's because it's a quality product and it was this super simple process. That's one of the things we're going to talk about today. But no, they didn't give me any special pricing, and I don't have a discount code. A couple people have asked me about a discount code for frames. That would be really cool. So TDK, if you're watching this, you want to maybe make me a discount code to give out to people. I think that'd be kind of cool. But 10% off a frame like this would be absolutely insane. So I don't know if it'd be 10%, but yeah, that's number one. Number two, we are going to be at the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion in Pigeon Forge, which is August 21st through the 24th, 22nd through the 24th, something like that. I know it's like a Friday through Sunday. We're going to be at the XS Power booth, so if you guys are going to be there, make sure you stop on by if we're there, if we're not there. If you see us walking around, come say what's up. I'll have some flags, some hats, some stickers, things like that to give out. But if you guys are going to be there, hopefully we get to meet you and see what Jeeps you brought. But had to put that out there because we're really looking forward to it. Also, I realized while filming this video, there's construction going on and people driving by. So I apologize if you hear the background noise while I'm filming this. I apologize, but enjoy the video. So to kick things off with the pros and cons list, I've just narrowed it down to a pros and cons list. That's probably the easiest thing to talk about. First pro is going to be the frame is brand new. There's nothing that's ever been done to it. It's straight from a manufacturer. It's brand new. Doesn't get much better than that. You are the first person that's going to be touching it, welding on it, bolting things into it, so you know exactly what is going to happen to the frame. You know nobody else has messed with it, cut into it, welded onto it, so it's your frame, brand new. Pro number two, also I realized after watching some of these clips back, I have it in 0.5 like wide angle on my phone, and it's making me look extra short. I know I'm already short, like in person in real life, but the camera's making me look extra short, so don't judge me. Remember, you're a short king. If you're short king, just don't forget it. Pro number two is it comes in bare steel, and then you can also get it galvanized and you can get it powder coated. We didn't powder coat or galvanize it. If you watch the YouTube series, then you know we got it in bare steel, which I think is an absolute pro because you can do whatever you want to it. You're not sanding anything down to weld onto it. Now, there is maybe a little surface rust or some of the coating they put on to prevent the frame from rusting in transport, but you sand that down, you're good to weld onto it, drill into it, and you're not worrying about perfectly good galvanized coating or paint that's already on the frame. So the bare steel frame, ready to weld to, ready to drill into, you're good to go. Now we got it bare steel because we were gonna weld all of our own brackets, drill into the frame, all that stuff. I'm sure if you're getting a stock TJ, CJ, YJ frame and you have all your stock location points for suspension and anything else, then you're not going to be welding onto it. But you have the option of a bare steel frame. Now this could just be my experience with TDK in general because I don't know any other frame manufacturers out there for Jeeps, but TDK, this is pro number three. It's all custom stuff. You can do anything you want as long as you shoot them an email or give them a phone call like I did. You can say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Can you guys do it? They'll quote you a price on what it's going to take to do that. Originally, I wasn't going to have them stretch the frame, and we were going to get a stock TJ frame, cut it in half, and stretch it ourselves. But in the long run, it's going to be easier for them. The frame's going to be a lot stronger. It's worth it just to have them do it. And getting it back, getting it shipped and delivered, already done, ready to go. We just weld our brackets on and bolt things on, made life so much easier. You're not having to cut things in half and splice them back together because that would have been terrible to do all over again. For number four, and one of the biggest selling points about the TDK frame itself is it's going to be a lot stronger than any other factory frame I buy on Facebook Marketplace or anyone that's selling a TJ frame that's been made by Jeep. All of their TJ frames, and I'm sure it's for all their other frames, I haven't done the research on CJ or YJ, but all the TJ frames are going to be 2" by 4" box steel, 3/16 wall, and then all of their brackets, their skid plate, that stuff's going to be 1/4" thick. So you're getting strength and durability and parts that are going to last a lot longer than your factory TJ frame is going to be. One thing I also really like is there are very minimal holes all over this frame. So you have your bolt holes for the transfer case skid plate. I believe you have 2 in the bottom and the rear for the rear bumper, and then you have the front ones where the frame horns are, which that's pretty normal. And then there's some bolt holes for the front bumper up there. But they keep it to a minimum. There's not a bunch of holes everywhere where water can get in and sit. We did do a internal frame coating from 3M all the way inside. It's got the wax all the way inside, so I'm not worried about rust at all. So yeah, pro number 4 is going to be the durability, the strength, what you're getting with a custom frame. I want this Jeep to outlive me. I want it to live on to my kids, my grandkids. I don't know if it'll last that long, but you never know. So hopefully with this frame, it'll do that. See what happens. That about sums it up for the list of pros. We're gonna move on to the cons because there is a very, very long list. I don't know if I'm gonna get through it in this video, but we'll see what happens. Number 1, and that's the only one, there's not a long list of cons. It's been a great experience, but the number 1 con is gonna be the cost. This is a pretty expensive frame. I know their stock TJ frames range from $3,000 to $4,000 depending on what you get with it and what you want to do to it. Anything more than that, you start modifying and customizing things, it can get pretty costly, but buy once, cry once, do it the right way. Like I said, I want this Jeep to live long, live longer than me, and let other people, my kids, grandkids, experience this Jeep. So for me, it's worth the money. I no longer have to worry about a stock TJ frame ever breaking down. My dad and I debated. I went back and forth with myself a lot trying to figure out what I wanted to do when it came time that I was like, all right, we're replacing the frame. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna do it? TDK was on the list, but I was also on Facebook Marketplace looking for TJ frames, rust-free frames out of Arizona or down south, and just kind of listing out my own pros and cons on getting a stock TJ frame or doing the TDK frame. Ultimately, as you guys can guess and see, the TDK frame won. There was just a lot more pros to that than the stock TJ frame. Now your build might be completely different. Something like this that is this customized. There's a lot of fabrication involved in me buying a stock TJ frame and turning it into this. Stock TJ frame is not going to be as well built as a frame like this. If I bought a stock TJ frame, everything would have gotten cut off. Track bar brackets, all the suspension brackets, everything. And that's a lot of heat and a lot of cutting to put on a stock TJ frame that's already got a thin wall. And then we would have had to weld all of our own brackets on. And on top of that, cut it in half and stretch it all over again when I could have had all that done by TDK, and that's what I did. So to me, that it just made a lot more sense. Now, if you have a stock TJ out there or a TJ that you're building into a crawler and you're not gonna mess with the frame at all, it would probably make sense to go buy a stock TJ frame. It might be more cost effective to do that. But for some of the prices I've been seeing TJ frames go for that are completely rust free, you're getting into the ballpark of a TDK frame. So what's another $1,000, $1,500 to spend on that TDK frame, knowing it's going to be a lot stronger, a lot more durable. You can bolt everything right on it if you're not changing your suspension points. It's something to think about if you are going to frame swap your Jeep. If you do plan on spending a lot of money on the frame, a stock frame might be important, or might be good to check out TDK. The cost of a TJ frame where you live may be completely different than the prices I've been seeing. When I lived in Maryland, if you had a rust-free TJ frame, they were selling upwards of $3,500 all day long. That was normal. I have guys that have been sending me messages saying that they are buying them rust-free all day long for $500. It's based on where you live. So if you're in the Northeast, the price of a rust-free TJ frame is absolutely insane. You better go check out TDK. For the same price, you could have one shipped to your door. Perfect, brand new, a lot stronger and more durable than that stock TJ frame. And it'll be there and you can coat it. You can do whatever you want to it, paint it however you want, powder coat it. Like I keep saying, something to think about, something to consider if you are gonna do a frame swap. My personal experience with TDK has been great. The guys that I've been talking to about this whole process when we were trying to figure out lengths for the stretch and everything, sending them pictures and measurements, it's all been very easy. It's been great. So like I keep saying, I recommend reaching out to them, just getting a quote or building one out on their website, seeing what it'll cost you. And you can go pick it up from Montana too. You don't have to have it shipped. So if you want to drive out there, it's cheaper for you to drive out there and pick it up than having it shipped. So be it. You can go do that. If I had to do this all over again, I would 100% do it the same way. I would go through TDK. I'd have a custom frame built for this. I'd repeat the same process. I'd even consider doing this if we were building another TJ in the future. TJ, YJ, or CJ. I'd consider going through TDK, weighing out all my options. But for a frame swap in general, just think about it. It's a lot of work. If you are going to invest a lot of time and money, it might be better just to spend more money and do it kind of the best way you can do it. But it comes down to you, comes down to the wallet and what your goals are for the build. If you guys have any questions for me, I'm an open book. Just put it in the comments section. Feel free to DM me. You can even email me if you want. It's kraftoffroad@gmail.com. If you have any questions about the frame swap, about TDK, about just anything Jeep related or anything else, I don't care. Just shoot me a DM, email me, whatever works best for you, and I'd be happy to answer it and go from there. But if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that like button. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can get there before fall, maybe October 1st. We'll do October 1st. If we can get to 10,000 before October 1st, I'll do a giveaway with some flags, hats, stickers, things like that. So again, appreciate you guys watching. See you in the next one.